Hey folks, welcome back. Hope your holidays has been super awesome. I'm going to run through some plugins here real fast that have been real important to me lately. First of all, I want to go through the metering plugin known as Decibel, and it's made by Process.Audio, and it is a super meter. That's what I kind of call it. It's an all-in-one sort of thing. Let me actually go to the default preset here. It's going to go huge for a second, and I will drag the bottom of that up a little bit. So this is what it looks like when you pull it up, and you can customize it to do whatever you want. And it's really cool. It's got sort of VU meters here. It's got this graphic analyzer here. We have a correlation meter with phase scope. I really dig this giant LUFS meter here. It's really helpful. And over here we have some more sort of LUFS metering. But what I've done is made my own sort of preset here, user preset. Sort of an orange kind of thing, and it's a little bit different. What I've done, I've just used the meters that I use most. Let me play something through this right fast, and I'll show you what I'm doing here. Okay, a couple things. Right down here at the bottom, we have a sort of histogram of LUFS values that follows as you're playing, and it'll actually follow along at the bottom right around in here, no matter what I've done. If I've stopped play for a while and then I come back to it, it will still read the next bit of audio I send through it, which is super helpful. We also have this where I have a mid-side meter here, so I can monitor the mid signal against the side signal. Super helpful, especially in mastering. Just an amazing kind of a meter plugin. It takes a lot of resources right now. I'm screen capturing and doing all kinds of other stuff, and so it's sort of lagging a little bit behind. But if I wanted to change this right here, I simply come up here to the top. I can delete this, boom, and now I have an empty space. So if I click on here, I have options of things to put in. Whether I wanted to put another spectrum analyzer in or another phase scope, target validator, all these things are pretty cool. Let me put this back in, and what I'll do is I'll kind of come up here to the corner and click on it, and then I can drag it out to the size that I want it. What's awesome as well is this will feed out to like an iPad or an iPhone, or your mobile device. I've got this set up down here to go to an iPad that sits on my desk, and it just sort of, yeah, it's really convenient. I'm so glad they've made this. My metering plugin before this, and I still use it some right now, is the old NewGen visualizer. This has been around for a while, and the reason I like this one is because it has a different type of histogram right in this area. I'll play this and you'll see what I mean. In this type of histogram, I can see the energy that's coming through on certain frequency bands. It's really easy to see. If I wanted to look at a phase scope as well, it's just as simple as coming over here and turning this on. Now the downside of this is that I don't have the ability to resize within this GUI, which I do in the other one. Really, really cool. So this is probably my favorite plugin that I've gotten recently, the Decibel plugin. I've been using it quite a bit, and I turn it on the DAW, whether I'm using Logic or Pro Tools or anything, and it puts it right over on my iPad, and I can watch it and listen to the music and go out and back real easy. Now another plugin that I've been digging lately, I'm going to turn it on this CR78 I recorded. I'm sure you've heard this riff before somewhere. I was just goofing around and thought, well, this will work for a demonstration. Arturia just came out with this free plugin that is, they're calling it the tape MELLO-Fi, which it simulates going through a mellotron. So I'm going to turn the plugin off right fast, and we'll just listen to what I recorded out of the old compu rhythm here. Now, if I turn this plugin on, it will simulate me having sampled that through a Mellotron. And this is pretty much the default setting. I haven't moved much. I turned the drive up a bit. If I do that more, by the way, the drive is compensated in volume, which is fantastic. I'm going to turn it up some more and see what happens. It's pretty cool. This little button here is a boost. So if I like where I am here, and I think it's a 20 dB boost on the drive. Yeah, I can go further than what they've given me on the knob here. This tone knob here, if I turn this off, there's no tone shaping at all. If I turn it back on, yeah. I think this works as sort of a like a tilt, because there's another type of tone over here, which we'll talk about in a minute. We also have control over the noise. And of course, the tape section of the Mellotron is pretty interesting. We can turn up the flutter and the wow, as well as the wear. Now, the wear is pretty interesting. When you have a tape that's been used too much, or if the tape head has not been cleaned, or if it has way too much gunk on it, you'll get this sound that they've emulated super well here. And one of my favorite things about a Mellotron is the mechanical sound. Also, if you've ever played an old Mellotron, one with the actual spinning wheel, one of the old tricks that people used to use was to have the hood open, and they would touch this wheel, kind of like you would flange a tape machine. And you can sort of do that here with what they've called a run stop. And if I play this part here, oh, I can actually change the timing of this stop. Let me see. I'll change it to half a bar. It's pretty cool. I can change that up to maybe 2 bars. Let's see what happens here. Sort of reminds me of the run stop that's on the soft tube tape plugin. Pretty cool. One of my favorite things though is this little filter here. This filter is pretty interesting. If I move it this way, it will tell me that I'm using the low pass, and if I move it this way, I'm using the high pass. So if I double click on this knob here, it will go back to 0, no filter. But let's try this right fast. I'm gonna leave this tone where it is here. I'm gonna leave the drive where it is. I'll play this, and then we'll kind of move this filter. I think that's pretty great sounding. If I turn this off, it'll be like this veil has been lifted and it won't sound quite as interesting. So probably somewhere in the middle ground would be a good place to be. One more plugin I've been using a lot this year, and this is not new, but it's one that I've just started using all the time, is the Vintage Verb from Valhalla. I'm sure you've probably seen this a million times. If I turn this all the way off here, I'm going to use this on the Prophet 5. And that's just, that's just the default setting. There are so many great colors in this reverb. Let me turn it on the 1980s. That'll be kind of fitting. And so that's only on the Prophet 5. So let's turn that on with the CR78. I'm going to turn the MELLO-Fi back on. Pretty great stuff. These were my favorite plugins recently. I just thought I'd share those with you right at the end of the year. Hopefully some of these are on sale. And by the way, nobody is paying me or giving me any of these plugins to show to you. These are just ones that I like to use, and I thought I would share them with you. Hope everyone is having a great holiday. Thanks so much for watching and subscribing. And more videos are coming very soon in the new year. We'll have some new projects and some new tutorials, hopefully. If you have any questions, have any ideas that you want me to go through on Luna or Logic or anything else, just let me know. Leave a comment, and I'll take care of it. Thanks so much.